essay series, No One Else, Just Me. Reflections on a Borderlander's Identity. Quietly listening to the question, Who am I? This is a documentary-style essay from a life crossing the borders of nation, language, and culture, asking again what it means to live as myself. This is a story no name could hold. May this offer you, too, a quiet moment to face the border within your heart. In the name of Joseonjok, tracing my roots. It is often said that everything in this world exists for a reason. If so, what is the reason for my existence? Why am I here? And who am I? Such questions sometimes surface unbidden from the depths of my heart. Not my name, not my occupation, but the existence simply called me. Difficult to describe with words, yet undeniably alive like a faint tremor within. I was born and raised in a small mountain village in Yanbian Korean Autonomous Prefecture, Jilin Province, in northeast China, a place embraced by rivers and mountains. Across the river lay North Korea, and everyone in the village was Korean Chinese. As a child, I lived speaking Korean. At school, I learned Chinese. I spent my university years in Beijing. And now I live in Japan, speaking Japanese in my everyday life. Recently, English too has begun to find its way into my days. I have lived in Japan for over 25 years. People still see me as a foreigner or a minority. Yet fortunately, I have never felt a clear and painful wall. Perhaps it is the cautious distance that Japanese society tends to maintain. Perhaps it is the cultural closeness shared across Northeast Asia. Or perhaps I have simply learned how to breathe in harmony with this society. Or maybe there is no real reason at all. Maybe there was simply a moment when the world and I were breathing in the same rhythm. For someone who has lived with only one language, such feelings may not be easy to imagine. But my world has slowly expanded as languages and cultures overlapped. From Yanbian to Beijing, from Beijing to Japan, and from Japan to the wider world. Living among multiple languages, I find that my words, my thoughts, my view of the world, and even my sense of who I am are gently yet unmistakably changing. The existence called Korean Chinese is often defined within the context of China's ethnic policies or historical narratives. One of China's ethnic minorities, people who speak both Korean and Chinese, those connected to the Korean peninsula but holding Chinese nationality. Yet these are merely classifications for convenience. To me, Korean Chinese is not a line on paper. It is the texture of lived life, the tremor of feeling, the still unfinished outline of the self that is still being drawn. Are you Chinese? Are you Korean? Then, what are you? When asked this, my words always falter for a moment. But now I think that hesitation, that brief pause, is a small yet certain proof that I exist as myself. Life in my hometown speaking Yanbian Korean. Confucian values inherited from my parents. Chinese thought learned at school. The brilliant socialism of North Korea shown on TV. And the quiet, restrained freedom and democracy I sense in Japan today. All of these are precious fragments that shape the self I am today. The tenderness of Korean, the breadth of Chinese, the delicacy of Japanese, the lucid logic of English. All of these live within me, and each has helped shape the person I am now. Yet, whenever I try to speak from one of these languages, another seems to drift slightly away. Carrying that feeling, I continue my days. It is like how humming a different song each day subtly changes who you are, a strange yet familiar sensation. People are often divided by birthplace or language. But I believe the true me is far more fluid, more flexible, and more free than such boundaries suggest. Crossing languages and cultures, traveling within the flow of time. Sometimes I even joke that I'm simply a person of the earth. Who am I? Where am I going? Whenever these questions arise, I quietly turn my gaze back to where I first began. And so I began this story from the part of myself called the Korean Chinese me. I will continue gathering, piece by piece, the fragments that shape me, the sensations of language, culture, everyday life, and the future that awaits beyond. Who am I? Where have I come from? And where am I going? If you too have ever carried questions like these, then with this humble piece of writing, I hope to be connected with you somewhere, sometime. About the author. An ethnic Korean born in Yanbian, China, and living in Japan. Writing in multiple languages and cultures, the author captures fragments of memory and emotion through poetry and essays.